heavy pop. It's like a lot more of what we're writing has a more pop sound, but we still want to maintain the heaviness. So I would say heavy pop.
We play a very powerful, high energy type of rock and roll. We move around on stage a lot and just scream with an abandon, I guess.
How did you first get involved with this Sub Pop label?
By some luck, our guardian angel pointed us in the direction of Reciprocal Studios and Jack and Dino, who knows Jonathan Poneman. And Jack and Dino turned Jonathan Poneman on to our tape, and he thought it was really groovy. And he gave us a call, and we made a single, and then we made a record. And now we're here today.
Okay. But what I would like to know, because one of the most memorable lines from your appearance in Headbangers Journeys, all the bands are trying to out-evil each other.
Yeah.
In your many years, being the forebearer of horror and metal, who are the essential bands, in your opinion, who have done evil and horror properly?
Rob Zombie.
Oh yeah.
Rob Zombie gets it. Horror and comedy are in bed together. And rock and roll. You put those three together and you've got it. And Rob gets it. Marilyn Manson is really good at it, because it's not Marilyn as much as his videos are extremely disturbing.
Sure.
We are theologically miles apart.
Very true.
Me being a Christian, and an active Christian, and him being a priest in the Satanic Church.
The Antichrist superstar.
The Antichrist superstar. So we've talked about that and everything.
Wow.
But very stylish. Very stylish. He got a great sense of style. And I don't want to blow his image, but he's a very nice guy.
Peace, y'all. Peace. So we haven't done one of these videos in a while, so I'm gonna be talking about Kurt Cobain of the group Nirvana, all right, and some suspicious things that may have taken place, all right, in his demise. Now, like I always do with these videos, y'all know I'm gonna be very respectful to the family of Kurt Cobain, all right, as well as his friends and family. All right, but I want to point out some things that I did find to be a little sketchy in the situation. All right. Now, Kurt Cobain was born February 20th, 1967. All right, in Aberdeen, Washington. All right. Now, his mother, Wendy Elizabeth, who was a waitress, and his father, who was actually a mechanic, got married in 1965, all right, and they gave birth to Kurt Cobain and his sister, Kimberly Cobain, all right. Now, Kurt had a lot of family ties in the entertainment industry, as well as in music, okay. Some may say he had some sort of nepotism, all right. Now, his great uncle, whose name was Delbert Cobain, all right, actually played in a small part of the 1930 jazz film King of Jazz. All right, now some would also go on to say he was groomed by his grandmother, Iris Cobain, who was actually a professional artist in the entertainment industry. All right, so he had a lot of knowledge on how to perform, all right, at a very young age. All right, they said he liked to draw and create art as well as do music as well, as a child. Now, during high school, Kurt became a born-again Christian while living with a family friend, Jesse Reed. All right, now, from stories of Jesse Reed, they actually said that he was said to be, to have anti-God rants from time to time. Okay, so I'm going to get into the mental instability that Kurt Cobain would deal with from time to time. All right, but he would go on these anti-God rants and all of this stuff, and he explained this in one of his songs called Lithium, I believe. All right, where he talked about how he felt towards God and living with his friends at that time, and they were all like Christian, devout Christians. All right, now in high school, he actually befriended a gay friend and would identify himself as a gay man. All right, and would often chant and spray paint "God is gay" throughout the town. All right, of Aberdeen. Now, some people would say that Kurt was a little off. All right, and he dealt with a lot of depression. You know, like he just wasn't always the happiest guy. All right, especially at a young age. Now, while in class, he met a local musician who I believe informed Kurt Cobain about the occult. All right, now this guy's name was Roger Buzz Osborne. All right, now Roger was actually the lead singer of a popular local group at the time, which was called the Melvins. Okay, now Roger introduced Kurt Cobain on how to create punk rock, all right, and hardcore music. All right, so like I always say, when people get involved in the industry, there's always somebody at the beginning of their career that kind of tells them, all right, certain things that they could do to get famous. All right. Now with things like the internet, this information is pretty much available to people out there. All right. So after dropping out of high school, he formed his first rock group, which was called Fecal Matter. I know that name is crazy, but you know, that band actually had fell apart. You know what I'm saying? So they was recording and practicing early on, but they fell apart, and then he went on to meet with his friend Christ Novoselic. All right, and this is when they came up with the group Nirvana. All right, now a lot of people are unaware that they changed their name at least 4 to 5 times before they became the group Nirvana. All right, now I'm going to show y'all this clip where he explains what the meaning of Nirvana is.
It was 9 o'clock in the morning and I was hungover, so I don't know what I said. I don't even remember.
Well, the way it went that I read it was Nirvana means freedom from pain and
suffering in the external world. That's just the Webster's dictionary. I mean, that's just right out of the Webster's dictionary.
And you said, as far as you could tell, that's what punk means to you. So it was the perfect name. That's not why you chose the name then.
Now I remember. Yeah, that's why. Sure.
Okay. I don't want to harp on the name. It wasn't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It'll be a household word in no time.
Now, although Kurt Cobain actually practiced Jainism, which is a sector of Hinduism and also Buddhism, he also kept his connections into the occult. All right, when you see certain album covers like Heaven is a Hoax and Utero's album cover where he's showing the fallen angel, you know, he would often write certain things in his journal, okay, pretty much being blasphemous towards God, you know, some pretty racist and raunchy things, you know, but in 1989, Nirvana got their first start, okay, when they signed a record deal with a label called Sub Pop Records, all right, and they recorded their actual first debut album, which is called Bleach. All right, now this album didn't do too good. Like I always say, the first go round, the album usually flops. It's very rare that you'll have an artist come out and do astronomical numbers, all right, because they don't know the business. All right, but they didn't really get much marketing with this album. It kind of just, you know, decreased, but it got them, you know, implanted in the business. All right, now in 1991, they signed with DGC Records, which was actually a subsidiary of Geffen Records and Universal. All right, now some people will title this their actual first album. All right, because it actually did good. It got them mainstream success with like songs that said songs like "Smells Like Teen Spirit" and "Lithium," and also "Come As You Are." All right, now I want to talk about Courtney Love's participation in Kurt Cobain's career. All right, now, many people believe that, she played a role in his demise, and we're going to talk about it. All right, but strange things, actually took place, around the events of his demise. All right, now there's numerous stories out there on how they actually met. Okay, but the couple met in I believe May of 1991, where she approached Kurt Cobain, and he was pretty much standoffish. She actually thought that he was gay and asked him if he was, and he told her that he wasn't. All right, but they became really close through their use of drugs and stuff like that. But Kurt became, more dependent on the harder stuff, and Courtney Love basically supplied most of his addictions. All right, now, like I said, many people believe that he dealt with deep depression, that you could often see in his eyes. All right, sometimes in a lot of his interviews, he always had this like sad look, but then he would just go back to being like regular. All right, so he was diagnosed with a few things, but he coped with this by way of using harsh drugs. All right, but the fact that Courtney Love was rumored to have offered a guy by the name of L. Deuce, okay, $50K to end Kurt Cobain was kind of suspicious. All right, and I'm going to point out a few things that I found to be a little strange, all right, in that situation, okay?
You did some deal with Courtney, right?
Yeah. She offered me 50 grand to whack Kurt Cobain. Yeah. I know who whacked him.
But how were you going to whack him? Did she tell you how to do it?
Yeah, blow us. But I told Alan, my friend, who...
Now, a man by the name of Richard Allen Wrench, okay, came out and confessed that he actually did the job of doing that to Kurt Cobain. All right, now there are some questionable points in the situation that I'm gonna just point out to y'all because it don't sound right to me. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, he's got two different stories on how, he ended his life. Some people say it was, and then some people say it was like, but we're gonna talk about it, you know what I mean? And I just want to let y'all know, like, how do y'all feel? Like, now, it was said that, he wrote a letter, okay, before the end of his life, right? But when he wrote this letter, it was halfway written, and then at the end of the letter, it was written in someone else's handwriting. All right, now, Kurt Cobain's lawyer, which is so crazy, Rosemary Carroll, confirmed in, on tape that Courtney Love had a bag with handwriting practice sheets in it. Okay, so why would she be having handwriting practice sheets? Okay, and the handwriting, like the handwriting on the letter was totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things that I just didn't, understand. And then a man by the name of Dylan Carlson, who actually purchased the firearm for Kurt Cobain, received a large amount of money from Courtney Love. Okay, now, Courtney and Kurt, they actually had, they was married. They actually had a prenup, all right, signed. But, which is so crazy, with him actually passing away, she would actually inherit, all right, half of his estate and end up being set for the rest of her life. She don't have to do nothing, you know what I'm saying, if, he met his demise. Now, the guy that I mentioned earlier by the name of L. Deuce, actually went on TV and said the name Allen, all right, by accident. All right, now, but when the reporters asked him who was Allen, he replied that it was a good friend of his. All right, and which is so crazy, the following day, he was found decapitated by a train. All right, when apparently he fell asleep on the train tracks. All right, so, maybe he let some information out that, is sketchy, but the guy, Richard Allen Wrench, went on to, you know, tour throughout Europe and, you know, continuously make music and live his life. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy about the situation. But what I want to point out is this, y'all. Like, you know, the music business is shady like that. And you know, was Kurt Cobain dealing with demons and stuff like that at this time? You know what I'm saying? Of course. You know, of course. But it's pretty crazy to actually see that, you know, this guy was going through all of these things and then, you know, was basically set up. You know what I'm saying? So there's two different stories out there about what actually took place with Kurt Cobain. You know, he's very religious and, you know, he was dabbling in all kinds of different things. You know what I'm saying? Just experimenting, you know, trying certain narcotics and things of that nature. So, you know, it's sad, man, what happened to the guy. It really is sad what happened to Kurt Cobain. But rest in peace to Kurt Cobain, man. You know, some people would agree that throughout his short period of time, not only the fact that he was part of the 27 Club, but during the short period of time that he was in music, you know, he made a legendary impact. Okay, he definitely made a legendary impact. And, you know, I'm not buying that whole story of, you know, he did this to himself. Somebody was behind it. All right, somebody was behind it. All right, so with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm going to get to more videos for y'all. And we're going to be talking about more celebrities again, y'all. You know what I mean? We're going to switch it up. All right, so peace and blessings, y'all. Hope y'all have a safe and blessed week. One.